Is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We did get we got some numbers, some key numbers. We got one more day of some key numbers, and then we start flickering in some of the earnings season starting to come up. So we're gonna have to start to deal with that. And then I believe we got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Jerome Powell coming out on January 31st, so about 2 weeks from now ish, in that range. But one more day of big news. Today, CPI. CPI came in. CPI showed up, but not like you guys. Not like you guys. You guys show up every day. CPI is only like once a month. Let's go. We got Al in the house. Good morning. We got Albert in the house. Good morning to Alex. We got Annabelle. Good morning. We got Brian, Cindy, Corey, Eric's gonna rock with us. We got Fabrice in the house. Fabrice, I believe I sent you over some of the demo accounts. I don't know if you got those today, but we got George in the house. Good morning to you. Jay, good morning. Joe, John, JT, Kevin, Stone, good morning. We got Lauren. We got Mike in the house. We got the full squadron here. All my peeps in YouTube land. Whew, we got Daniel. We got Al. Good morning to Julie DeBrown. I like that last name. Good morning. We got M Sky in the house. And all my lurkers in that background of YouTube land. That's okay. I still love you. Just hit that like and subscribe. But yeah, we actually came in a little bit hot on CPI. So CPI came in and CPI came in and yeah, it was a little bit hot. Definitely a key spot for that for that CPI. We were actually gapping up a little bit pre-market. Market was kind of bullish on they thought maybe the inflation was going to come in lower than expected, and then I think we'd probably be pushing to all-time highs in this market. But now it's a very interesting spot. We got to kick the can down the road till tomorrow to see what PPI comes in at. But yeah, we're gonna be fighting that zone for some time. So we got 477.13. That's gonna be my resistance to the high side today. I'm gonna look at a very, very strong support, 475.37. I'll give it a few pennies lower just on this one. I think the support is probably around that 37, but let's go even a couple pennies lower, 475.21. Let's just call the whole thing 475. I think if we start losing 475. Okay, well, we have the data. The market's not going to have to look forward to that at least. And that's going to be a pretty bad breach, I think, for the day. We got one more over here, 474.15. And then we start this long kind of journey down. We're not close to that. We're still above the support. Market so far, I mean, we dropped on the news, makes sense. We broke down the current VPOC. We kind of came back. We kind of retested. I think we might have a little bit of a chop day. I think we might get a little choppy out here. I don't know. Buckle up. Buckle up. We got Hertz news. Speaking of buckling up, they're selling the pre-owned Teslas for like 16K. Go to their auction website. They're getting rid of some of the EVs and they're kind of changing course of direction a little bit. So maybe some of the EV stocks getting a little bit hit, but yeah, just speaking of the buckling up news. Yesterday we did come in, we've retested into for the Qs this 409.51. I think we talked about that zone either yesterday or the day before. One of these 2 days we were looking at that gap fill. So that gap fill's already happened. We're looking at support from yesterday's VPOC, probably sitting somewhere around 408.16. We've got a long 25 minutes until this market opens. So we're gonna see if we can survive those CPI numbers. That would be a huge sentiment from the bulls saying we're not done yet. We're still expecting those rate hikes, and they're gonna brush it off as we did not miss too much. We got Anthony in YouTube land, Santilla. Good morning to you, Joe. Good morning with Rocks in the house. So we'll see. Let's see how TLT does. I mean, it's not a over dramatic sell off, nothing like that. So we're okay. TLT is gapping down a little bit. So this to me would be more of a red flag than kind of what the SPY's doing after CPI. This would be a retest gap though. Uh kind of. This is actually not a great gap. this is not. So it is a retest gap based on yesterday. But those 2 days are really still inside this bullish engulfing candle. We held that. Not a great, strong close. But we do have TLT pulling back, and I don't like the fact that we're gapping underneath that big green candle. All right. That could put a little bit more fear panic into the markets, a little bit. Again, it's not a huge move. I'm looking at support at 95.50. Another small one would be 95.35, and then after that, we're probably looking to close this gap, which is 94.65. And then maybe even get down to like we got another gap fill down here too. Really into like 92.84. So this one's still kind of pulling back. I'd be a little concerned about TLT today. At least it's gonna it might not bring the SPY down. We'll see. But it's gonna prevent it from really moving up higher. All right, let me know if you guys got some tickers. We gotta start with some crypto news. Yep, Kevin's Kevin's with me on that one. So the ETF got approved. Coinbase is going to be the holder of the I believe the ETF is how that works. I don't think I know all the details on it. I'm not going to claim that I do, but it sounds like Coinbase was actually the winner of kind of holding the keys to it. But there is a crypto ETF, and that might just be for the assets into the ETF. So again, how that plays out, I'm not 100% sure. But the bigger news is that ETF was approved. Market likes it. Entire crypto space is up. Some names, I think Bitcoin was up maybe 1,000, just over 1,000, something like that. But entire crypto is just starting to move pretty crazy. This one, Coinbase, is also gapping up. This is technically a retest gap. It's crypto, so I'm very hesitant. It's very hesitant. Yeah, crypto's Bitcoin's sitting at 47K. Now the news is out. The question is, do we take profits or not? The one thing I would say leading up to this is we already kind of did take a decent amount of profits. I can see a little pullback here at open because we are heading into a decent resistance. Again, we still have about 21 more minutes left until this bell rings. If we were gapping up above 159.60, then I think we got some more good room in us to about 164.55 before we have to worry. I'd want to see if I was to, I don't want to make an opinion on this one, bullish or bearish, to be honest. I don't know which way we go. I think right now, if this was any other stock and we didn't have this news, and I know the crypto people just go all in and sit there and wait, it's a little different. It's a little bit more Wild West. However, if I was looking at this chart anywhere else, I'd be looking at these two different big resistance spots. Be looking at the room to the downside, and I think we have a little bit more room to the downside. Maybe not long term, but for at least some kind of a pullback on this one. And then if like TLT is dropping, SPY is dropping, that might also help and aid this thing to come down lower. If we open up and we're sitting somewhere above this, I would even call it 159.50, then again, that's going to change things. So it depends on where this thing opens. And I'd be watching this one very, very closely. Same thing would probably go with Mara. I didn't check out Mara today, so let's check that one out. If I can get this Coinbase on TradingView to move a little higher. There we go. Let me check out Mara real quick. See if that one's getting some love today as well. It is. It's up a decent amount. So this one I like a lot more than Coinbase, at least for the moment. I'd still want a little pullback. Maybe into like this 2680 zone. Otherwise, targets either way, we should have a decent amount of room to move on this one. This is a pretty good pure. I was gonna say it's a pure retest because I was going off this, but really, even all of these candles, the last 1, 2, 3, 4 days were sitting inside of this candle. That was a scary day for Mara, but that was a retest. Came in, hung out. I like Mara bullish. The fact that we're above this one and we have some room to the higher side, I almost rather trade Mara than Coinbase just off the initial look at it. And again, where some of these things open might cause a little bit of different sentiment at the open. But if I could get either of those to pull back, Mara, I don't think I need to pull back as much for me to get excited and try to take a chance on it at least. Lauren's got Netflix. Apparently canceled this pre-market. Oh, there it is. All right. Good gap there. Is there news on this? Netflix advertising chief says ad tier crosses 23 million monthly users. I remember when they came out with this news and like Netflix, I couldn't figure it out, but like Netflix took a nosedive on the news that they're going to start having ads. I was like, how is that bad? I don't think that's enough for people to cancel their Netflix subscriptions, and it's a way for Netflix to just absolutely crush more and more money every single quarter. I was like, that sounds good to me. I don't know, Mark, you guys are disagreeing with me on that, but yeah, nice little gap on Netflix. Disney might get some positive report too, because they're essentially trying to do the same thing a year after launch. Netflix said it's reached 15 million active users. See, I believe it was about 9 months ago to a year that they really stopped counting the active users and focus more on, okay, how do we make it more profitable? Because at some point, no matter what you do as far as the active users go, they had so many already that it's tough to really grow that base. So then they had to start looking at something different. So which I kind of like the focus more on the revenue than just the pure active users. It also kind of shows that it matured a little bit. Nice little high wave that we're breaking above. I'd be concerned about all that resistance right there, though. And even this, we did have this wick, so that might be a little positivity for the bulls, maybe trapping some people. This is also a red candle, so again, maybe we get a small little trap at open. Ultimately, I think this is the candle that plays, though, and that should be a retest. I would be looking for more of a retest, at least into 486.17. But see if this even wants to come back to like 484.68 again. Also, if we have pressure on the market, that should help at least get us into better pricing. Do I want to go short on this one? If I think this thing, I don't know if I want to go short yet. 488.96 could be a little bit of a support. And then I'm looking at 486.35. So that could get me about $3 to the downside. Maybe I could make something on that. But my stops really have to be 492. So that's going to put me about an R. That's going to be about 1-to-1 risk to reward if I think Netflix stops here. If I think I can get to that second level down, that gives me a little bit better risk to reward. And then it might be worth the short. So it's almost what you guys think this thing, how far this thing could go if it pulls back at all. But watch, we are into a heavy resistance zone. So I wish there was a little bit more room on that thing to move. Eric Scott, AMD, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. Microsoft inside day, however, I kind of like it to the short side. Again, it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be an easy one. What's this market do? Market's starting to come back a little bit. If we open pretty much where we're at now, my first initial target has got to be 146.16, which would get me okay, maybe a fucking change, $2, something like that. But then I also think the low of yesterday should give us a little psychological support. We held it here. We held it here. All of these tech companies, Microsoft, even most of the big seven, besides like Tesla, has been still kind of moving. So you're gonna be fighting a strong trend. But this to me, this would be our second one down, and we're below that yesterday's VPOC as well as this level. So I kind of like it to the downside, but it is inside day as well, and that would be a little bit more choppy too. And we know that AMD, Nvidia, Microsoft, these guys are all super bullish. Buying anything off the dips has been paying off. So yeah, if you're gonna go short on it, I think it's got to be a very small move. Look for maybe a 1.2 if you could get it. And Nvidia just don't care about nothing. Mm-mm. This is Nvidia's world, and we're just living in it. I would have to. I mean, I would have to say this has got to be a retest. But again, the question is how much on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely love it, 1 being nothing at all. The question is how much do I like to lose money? And if my answer is a 10, I would try to short this thing. You would look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days being bullish in a row. And this is a retest gap. I don't want to go long here. You also have a psychological hold number of 550, but 0 resistance on this thing. We've just every single day going higher and higher and higher. It's a very, very tough short. I don't think I could go long here. I'd probably be a do nothing scenario for me, but um if it pulls back to maybe 542, it's worth another shot for a day trade. I would assume somewhere, especially like on a day trade, we get some kind of double bottom down there or something. But yeah, this is they're still holding. Do they have news too? Is that what's? Oh yeah, and they got some news. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I have 0 levels up here. I don't know how far this thing could go. Besides that 550 psychological hold number, and then if it breaks that, you're looking, I don't know, 570, I guess. But yeah, some kind of pullback. We're starting to get extended. Nvidia might not care. MSFT. Could look at HUT as well. Another one. Another one. Microsoft stock moves closer to Apple's crown. Wall Street betting it will take it. Uh-oh. Apple's shaking. You could have been a contender. There's another one. I mean, we've had massive, massive run. It's a really good gap. I still kind of like bullish. The only thing I would say is, I mean, yeah, give me a high wave candle on both Nvidia. Give me like a red candle at open on both Nvidia and Microsoft. That's the only way I think I could play these. I kind of like Microsoft over Nvidia if I was to play it because it's a little less extended. Both of them are retest gaps. Both of them are breaking out to all-time highs. Both of them have the same feel to it. Both of them got some bullishness to it. Give me on Microsoft or Nvidia any type of selling candle at open. Let somebody take profit, and then maybe I'll take some kind of a breakout on it. I think that's the only way I could play it. Otherwise, I'm just very uncomfortable playing all-time highs and trying to buy it. But there's nothing stopping it up here. We definitely have people profitable. The people that are profitable on this trade at open in their accounts is everybody who ever bought a Microsoft share in their life. There's got to be one person that wants to take profit, I would assume. So let's see if we get any type of pullback at all. Let me take a look. We got LI. LI Auto might be moving off the Hertz news. This might be a little bit of a sympathy play. Let's see if they have their own news. Nvidia expands its reach into China's EV sector. Online shopping. Oh, good. They'll use NVIDIA's drive technology. More good news for NVIDIA. You just can't beat them up. China's rising EV brands are a key market for NVIDIA's automotive technology business. Chinese automakers are reaching each other to launch more advanced vehicles, yada, yada, yada. All right, so they got a little bit of news on them as well. Um, this is going to be, I believe it's international stock. So be careful on that one. They could move a little bit weird, but yeah, pretty good gap. Pretty good gap. I like that volume a lot. Unfortunately, there was inside that candle, there was a little bit more buyers. And I don't know necessarily that they were buyers because this was also a gap down, pretty weak close. We might trap some bears, but look at support or look at resistance, maybe somewhere around 3406. If this thing wants to get real crazy and play ball, we're looking at 3530. But you got a lot of stuff in the way before that 3530. So range might be a little tough. See, I would say if this thing pulls back a little bit, it doesn't have to be much. 33, 38 would be a decent location to attempt to buy. But yeah, gap down and starting to push at least. LI Auto. Hood's moving based on the fact that Coinbase is moving and based on the fact that you got crypto news. And don't forget, Hood made a huge investment probably about 2 years ago into the crypto space. It hasn't really paid off for him yet, but that should hopefully have positioned him into kind of that next crypto run. Nice little gap. Again, a little pullback. Those two candles right there are obviously bearish, but they're inside. I'm going to play it off this candle. So give me a little bit of a pullback on this one. It would help if Coinbase pulls back a little bit too. But look for like 1242. Pretty nice gap. I'm not loving the only thing I would probably love, I think it's got a decent short float. Let's see. Hood short float 8%. So decent short float on this one. I'd still love to see a little bit of a pullback before that starts coming into play. Otherwise, the initial target is 1272 with the 8% short float. Maybe it goes crazy. And 1317 will be my target on this one. But I kind of like it, yeah. I'd want to be patient and open. Some of these names, anything crypto related, has already down a little bit. Info systems. Volume on this one might be a little tough. Where's the pre-market? I don't even see where the pre-market is unless I'm just missing it completely. Yeah, I don't see anything as far as pre-market goes. But they did have earnings, it looks like. I don't know what those numbers are. I don't see them. It looks like it comes out after market. So potentially after hours. I don't know. I don't know where this thing's opening unless there's just no volume and it's not really showing. Wins in the house. What's up, buddy? All I do was win, win, win. Smitty. Can I buy Nvidia? You're too high. Are you saying I'm too high because I don't know what the limit of too high is? I'm just maybe a little high. That's all. Yeah, is Nvidia too high? I don't. I mean, for a long term investment, it's tough. Some people could make valuations if it's going to grow into those valuations. It's not cheap. It's not cheap though. And yeah, a little pullback I think would be better. But even give me that red candle even for a day trade because I'm gonna be if I'm day trading, I'm in and out today anyway. So there's room to make some money on a day trade no matter what. Santilla says it will go to 600. It might go to 600. I'm not gonna argue that. I don't know if it's gonna go to 600, but yeah, I wouldn't be taking that's not the hill I'm gonna die on saying it's never gonna make 600. PDD. Host and panelist or YouTube? The last comment? No, that's YouTube. That's YouTube. This one looks good. PDD. Santella says I'm holding Nvidia. I like the hold. Yeah, if you have Nvidia, it's not bad. Maybe shave a couple shares as this thing moves higher and let the rest run, so you're not sitting there as I wouldn't say you're going to be a bag holder, but I think at certain levels, I mean, keep in mind if all you have to do is refer to the Netflix GameStop show. Just watch that one. The diamond hands works until it's not. That's all I'm saying. Usually when everybody's like, this stock's going to 1,000, this stock's going, just keep holding. It could go higher. And I think it probably does go higher. In fact, that's the safe bet. It goes higher. But then when it comes down, just be prepared. Use some options to protect yourself, things like that. PDD. I actually do like this gap. Probably one of my favorites. Let's get PDD on the list. That one I think can run probably at open. PDD. Go, 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 go all the way to the top. Come on, Trader. I only got 3 minutes left, and you're not even gonna move it for me. You want to highlight that area? Whatever. Oh, it did. Okay. Yeah, PDD, probably one of my favorite gaps. Not a big, massive gap, but it is still a good gap. Again, red candle at open on this one, just because you do have tweezer tops. I like that. I like the fact we're breaking above it. It doesn't have to give me a red candle at open for me to still enjoy it and a little bit of a run up. I think that still looks good. Do we have volume on that breakout candle? We had some, nothing too crazy, so not really a 3-bar play. But yeah, red candle, I'm on that one. Let's just see if Bob is moving with it. So since PDD is a Chinese stock, you also have a gap up on BABA too. So let's check one more thing. Baidu is we did see LI was moving up too, and Baidu. So all the Asian names, they're kind of moving up a little bit. So we might have some love in that space today. This one actually looks decent too. Baidu. Depends on when this thing opens. It just kind of gapped up a little bit more. But if we were opening down there where it was 12 seconds ago, 1662-ish, then we got room probably up to 1788. That makes a little bit more difference now, kind of smack in the middle. So we'll see where these things open. But PDD looks good for sure. SMCI. I got 2 minutes left. That's all good. We got SMCI jumping up a little bit. SPY is rallying right now as we speak too, right into that kind of pre-market support right before those CPI numbers came back. So we've pretty much wiped out any losses from CPI. Interesting. Super microcomputers, yeah, still looks good. Looks bullish as the trend. Nice little resting candle. Watch this spot right here, 344.94. It's got to break that first. If we get above it, there could definitely be a little bit more room. We've the next spot would be 352.22 for some resistance. That can break. We've already hit that once, so getting back up there might be able to push us through. And if everything is good in NVIDIA land, I can't imagine super microcomputers cannot be a super microcomputer as well. So I like that one. Probably more to the bullish side than anything. Amazon has a nice gap. AMZN. Yeah, Amazon looks good too. Again, retest gap from here, but that's a nice little gap on that one as well. I want some red candles somewhere, but YouTube people, unfortunately, that is the morning bell. Looks like we still got some bullishness out there. So the CPI coming in a little bit light as of this moment didn't really hurt us that badly. We'll see how we progress during the day, but otherwise, you guys are absolutely incredible. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, like that little thumbs up, and then those hearts on my screen pop up. It's kind of weird, but I still like it. So you